I just got off the phone with a producer from Good Morning America. Apparently, they're doing an influencer series, and they asked me if I wanted to be featured. What? That's so crazy. I don't know if she'll pick me, but it was really, really amazing to, have the opportunity to be considered. So I'm really excited. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I was like, she emailed the other day and I was just like, this has to be a joke, right? Like, this can't be legit. But I Googled her and she really does work there. And I just got off of the phone with her and they're doing like a really awesome segment where they're featuring different like niches of TikTok influencers. So they were contacting me about, the niche finance, wellness, and like business. So I thought that was really amazing. I'm sure that there are so many amazing creators on this platform that are in the niche that I am. So I don't know if they will pick me, but ultimately I'm really excited that they considered me. I have to go out soon for Christmas shopping. What about you guys? Have you got yours done or haven't started? I only need a few more things, so. Hi, everybody. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Like, I don't forget because like the news is on my phone and on our TV and everywhere. But because we live on the east coast of Canada, we don't have the same lockdown restrictions as most places do. We only have, I think right now, the province that I live in, we have 50 cases and they're all tracked, and everybody that has coronavirus is self-isolating. So I'm so blessed to live over here. So everything is open as normal where I live. Hi. No, I haven't looked into hammocks. I sell clothes mostly, so I might be able to help you with clothes, but I mean, it's just ultimately textile manufacturing. So I would maybe search up textile companies in Canada and maybe ask them if they can make you a hammock. I'm sorry you didn't win. Yeah, Good Morning America. I just got off the phone with them. It was honestly so surreal. They're doing a segment on influencers on TikTok. So they did like a fashion segment, and they did food, and now they're doing finance, and they considered me, and I can't believe it. So I don't know if I'll actually get picked, but either way, it's still really exciting that they considered me at all. So I'm really excited. Like, I never in my life would ever think. Like, I'm a Canadian and I live on like the middle of nowhere in like rural Canada. So for Good Morning America to call and email me is quite surreal, honestly. Yeah, it's really exciting. I'm sorry you didn't win the giveaway. I will be doing more, like, I want to inject more money into like the people who follow me. So if you have a really solid idea and you have an actionable, plan, I'll be happy to send money towards that, because ultimately that's what this channel is all about, is helping people with good ideas and moving people towards their goals. So why not put my money where my mouth is? So I don't do Amazon FBA, so I might not have very good insight for you, but ultimately a lot of Amazon FBA is similar products to what dropshippers are selling, but I don't use the Amazon platform to sell my products at all. I can review your e-com site, but I actually, it takes me a lot of time to go through everybody's website, so I actually charge to do it. But that's all linked on my website if you want to go check it out, if you really want me to give you I call it a website audit. So I really go through and I check your policies and make sure everything is running smoothly in your store and give you some marketing suggestions. So if you want to do that, definitely check out the link in my bio. No, so I don't design my own clothing. So I sell. So as a dropshipper, I sell a manufacturer's already designed products. So they come up with the patterns and the designs, and I basically just pick and choose the ones that are fitting with my brand's aesthetic. So you can pick anything. Like there's so many amazing clothing options. Like you can pick bikinis all the way up to like plus size, like beautiful, like minimalist, like conservative clothing, all the way to like something a little bit more racy. Like there are so many different options that these manufacturers already make, so it makes the process of streamlining, like I want to put this type of aesthetic in my store, what do you guys have, and then you pretty much just implement that pretty easily, which is cool. Hi. I like to make content that is supporting people who are trying to start a business, yes. I think that in 2020 you should be investing in online businesses. Like even if you have a brick and mortar or a service, I think that there's always an online element in 2020. So I would say yes, I do tend to favor online businesses because that's where I have my businesses. But if you have a really great idea, then yeah, I mean, let me know what it is. And then I will help you if I think that like my cash injection might help you with, profitability or success. But if you are starting any business, you need an online presence in 2020 without a doubt. Yeah, I wouldn't open a brick and mortar store in 2020 for sure. I've seen so many like really viable, like amazing businesses in my local hometown that just aren't making it. And like I said earlier, I live in the east coast of Canada, so we haven't had extreme lockdowns at all, and we're struggling here. So I can only imagine in the places that are very hard hit with coronavirus, what it's like to be a business owner in a brick and mortar store. When coronavirus started happening, I was like, obviously as a business person, I was thinking like, how is this going to affect my business? What is this going to look like? And I felt really, really, really fortunate that all of my employees already worked from home, and that my whole distribution chain was already online. So I was really, really, really happy about that. But also I was really like empathetic towards the people whose businesses weren't. I'm from the east coast of Canada, so I'm from like right above Maine, basically. And I was saying earlier, like we have 54 cases of coronavirus where I live, so we are still fully open, and we have been since I think June. So we did the first lockdown like everybody else, and then we opened back up, and we've been able to stay open, which is really fortunate. Yeah, so I run 4 dropshipping stores. Oh, cool. Hi. Yeah, so since you are a Canadian, you're familiar with the Atlantic bubble, so that's where I am. My toenails are white. But that's a weird question. I have to run out to start some more Christmas shopping soon, so I just wanted to pop on and tell you guys about the exciting call I just got on, or got off, I mean, and share a little bit of that exciting news with you guys. So if you have a question though, I'm happy. I'm on my own schedule today, so. No, I'm not from Toronto. I'm from New Brunswick. I'm from like rural Canada, basically. We don't have like we don't have like fiber or we have slow internet where I live. That's how rural we are. I run my e-commerce businesses from hotspots on my phone, basically. I sell clothes online. I do. I have 4 of my own online. Well, really, actually, I have 5, because I would say that e-com era is also a brand. So yes, I have 5 brands that I run and own. Yeah, so I don't do drop shipping in the sense that I test products and I find a winner. So that way of drop shipping is very successful if you can hit the right product. What I actually do is I build like niche stores, and clothing. So if I'll target a customer that's like, say I'm targeting like business casual, like professional women. So I would fill my store with like dresses and suits and, stuff like that. So I don't have one winning product in my drop shipping stores. I build out the brand, I source the following, and then I implement products that are relevant to that audience. So I don't test products. I build stores around a topic. Hi. Any advice where to start? So if you are interested in e-commerce or affiliate marketing or literally any side hustle, business, investing, or anything like that, the place that I would recommend that you start is YouTube. So just literally type in the topic you want to learn about on YouTube and then go down a YouTube hole, and you will come out after like 2 hours with so much more information than you could have ever imagined that you were looking for. The first steps really, if you're talking about dropshipping, like the first steps to dropshipping is you're going like actual steps. You're going to obviously want to do a lot of research. And like I said, YouTube has a ton of free resources. You don't have to pay for a dropshipping course. People are like, oh, I have to pay for a course. That's annoying, like expensive, or is it legit or whatever? But you don't have to pay for a course. All you're doing when you pay for a course is you're learning someone else's system. And sometimes their system is really good and sometimes their system is really bad, and sometimes they might be lying about even having a system and they're trying to sell you a course. So I would always suggest that you should start for free on YouTube and go down a big hole and learn about these products and jobs that you're trying to learn about for free first. And then if you start implementing things and you want, a more specific system, then maybe you can do your due diligence on a course that might help you scale faster. But ultimately, to learn dropshipping, you don't have to take a course, and you can learn all the information for free online. Because that's what I did. I never took a course. You're welcome. I forgot my laptop. Usually when I go on live, I do laptop stuff too, but I forgot it. So you do not need to open a corporate business or an LLC when you start dropshipping. You will eventually if you start making sales, but I like to tell people that you don't need to incorporate or any of that before you have proof of concept. So I only incorporated when I had over $30,000 worth of sales, because then I knew that I had proof of concept that my marketing strategy was working. So I incorporated when I made $30,000 in sales, and now I get to benefit myself from like removing the liability on my own personal assets. And also I'm in a different tax bracket as a corporation. So once you get to $30,000 in sales, you're going to be taxed all of that income on your personal tax returns. And that can be really expensive. So ultimately around 30K, you're going to want to incorporate to, save a bunch of money on taxes essentially. So when it comes to shipping delays, like 2020 has been a nightmare for shipping. So in January, we were backed up. We were backed up until pretty much February, and it was hard. It was really, really hard. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. We were backed up. Things weren't shipping. Manufacturers weren't making anything, and we had a million really angry customers. So do you know what we did? We were just honest, and we refunded people, and we took it. We took the brunt of of the hate, I guess, and we just tried to mitigate it the best that we can. Ultimately, you want to be honest with your customers about your shipping time. You never want to keep that in the dark. Yes, if you have a long shipping time, it might hurt your conversion, but do you know what's going to hurt you in the long term worse is lying about it. People will file chargebacks, which are expensive. They're going to file bad reviews, and that's going to detrimentally ruin your business. So don't lie about it. And ultimately, just try to make partnerships with manufacturers that are going to guarantee you. I have a partnership with a manufacturer and they get it out in 5 to 7 days. Yes, I can't control FedEx or UPS, but ultimately, if you're honest, people are going to be, if you're honest and you have a receptive customer service branch, your customers are going to be a little bit more patient with you. But not everybody is. We get mad customers. It just is that way. Bye. So is that 14K Instagram or TikTok, or is that your personal? I don't recommend that you sell products to your personal audience necessarily unless it's a relevant product to your personal brand. And it depends, every business is different. So if you want to open a brick and mortar store and you want to order in a bunch of, physical inventory, it's going to cost a lot more than if you want to do affiliate marketing or if you want to do drop shipping. So I would say don't invest a lot of money in Facebook ads if you don't know what you're doing. I don't personally use Facebook ads. It's not a platform that I love. I have dabbled with it, and I have learned a lot about it because a lot of my followers ask about it. But ultimately, I prefer to build organic audiences and have conversations in inboxes with customers and have conversations on comment sections with people, and really bring attention to my brand with engagement and also with content that is solving a problem. So, like I said earlier, if I am marketing to business casual women and my store is for business casual, clothes, I'm going to be putting out content that is like how to land an interview, 10 tips to ask your boss for a raise. I'm not going to be sitting there saying, you need a blazer to be successful. I'm going to be solving problems for them so that their eyes are on my account often, so that they come and they seek information where my products are located, if that makes sense. I haven't done any TikTok ads because the reach on TikTok is free. So I get 4 million views a month on this channel and I don't pay for them. And you can do the same for your business. I don't think that TikTok ads I don't think that they've really figured it out yet, how to implement ads with the organic videos, because everybody's here for the organic videos. I don't know about you, but I scroll on ads on TikTok, so. How do I create content for my brand? So I use graphic designs. I get, we do model photo shoots, videos, stuff like that. When I first started, I used to send out free products to people. So if I was going through Instagram at the time and I'd be like, wow, this girl has a really beautiful aesthetic, I would say, hey, is it okay if I send you a product, maybe like $150? Could you send me like a video of you like walking down the street or something like that? Because, I didn't have a huge budget to do content. But you can leverage people who are experienced in content. You just have to ask them. Yes, we produce a ton of content. I produce content for a living, ultimately. I would say, yes, I'm a marketer, and yes, I work in e-commerce, but ultimately I am a content creator, and that goes for my businesses. So none of my businesses have my face in them, but I'm still a content creator there. So we come up with concepts, we come up with engagement strategies, and yes, we make a ton of content. I have a whole team of people who make content full-time for my businesses. When I was small, though, like I said, I was leveraging people who make content for a living, and I asked them basically as a favor to do content for me, and people will be receptive if they get something for free and you pay them, but you can get really beautiful content from an influencer who has like 10,000 or less followers, but has a really good eye for, aesthetic and content creation. And you can send them $200 and a free dress and they will make content for you. Yeah, I just scroll on TikTok ads. I think that there is a way for TikTok to do paid content ads. I just don't think that they figured it out yet, in a way that it works well with the organic content, really. Is this something you could do as a side hustle? Like what are we talking about specifically? Do you mean drop shipping or e-commerce or? Yes, you can do anything as a side hustle. It's all about figuring out, where you have the time pockets in your day to dedicate to it. I don't hire content creators from Fiverr. No, I outsourced and I interviewed and I took resumes and did all that. But when I first started, would Fiverr be a good option? Ultimately, I like Fiverr as a concept, but I haven't gotten, and I've used them several times, but I haven't gotten great results. I just think that they're taking on too many projects and that they're not really focusing on each one in a really meaningful way. I think that a lot of people on Fiverr are extremely talented, but ultimately quantity equals cash for those guys. So you need more deals to make a good living, and I don't feel like they're paying enough attention on each project. If you get a job in marketing, I think marketing is a great career path. I didn't take marketing at university. I didn't go to university. I had a baby when I was 18 and I started working at a bank. I learned marketing from being really, really critical of the marketing that was shown to me. So why did they make this ad? What was the purpose? What was the emotion? Always questioning everything around you. Why did this content creator get this many views on this? What about this was viral? You have to be really objective about marketing, and then I think it'll start to make it easier for you to make it. Ultimately, marketing as a career path, I wouldn't have good advice because I didn't take marketing as a career path. I took entrepreneurship. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Have a wonderful Christmas too, Dave. So I had this conversation earlier with somebody about is dropshipping saturated, is affiliate marketing saturated? And the answer is yes. These are saturated industries. But ultimately, if at the beginning of 2020, if somebody said, hey, I'm going to start a loungewear, or I'm going to do fitness clothes, or I'm going to do elastic bands for fitness, somebody would have looked at them and said, that's so oversaturated. Lululemon, everybody does that. But then with the pandemic, every single person that sold anything related to fitness sold out completely. So I think because a market is saturated doesn't really make it a bad idea to get into it. I think that you have to come at it with an interesting perspective. So asking yourself, what am I providing that's more than these products? What's the experience I'm trying to sell? What's the lifestyle I'm trying to sell? Don't get stuck in I'm a drop shipper. So drop shippers choose one product and that's a winning product. And then we make an ad for it. And then I run that out on Facebook and then I put ad spend in a pixel and then I'm going to have sales. I think that type of drop shipping is a little bit oversaturated. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. And I think that it's a good way to sink a lot of money into drop shipping unsuccessfully. But if you come at it okay, so we have TikTok, this is this brand new platform. How can drop shipping be inserted into this new opportunity, which is TikTok? Thinking outside the box of the traditional drop shipping structure, I think will produce results. I don't think so. I know so because that's what I did. Yeah, coffee shops are oversaturated. Coffee is the best though. I'm so excited. You are narrowing it down perfectly. So cars, clothes, parts, fitness. I mean, you're on your way. Congratulations on your twins. So I'm a mother too. I have a 12-year-old. And working as an entrepreneur, honestly, my why, how you see my why. So something that was really, really hard for me as a mother was to always leave and go to work all the time. So it broke my little heart. He spent more time with my parents and at daycares than with me because I was just working constantly to try to make time money, right? So working with kids as an entrepreneur is not easy. I don't really think that there is a good tip, except just, try to carve out pockets of time that are for you, and really focus on it. But ultimately it is a struggle and it is really hard, and anybody that can pull it off is really impressive. But yeah, it's time management, I guess. But how do you manage time with twins? I have no idea. So the only face to the brands that I own is this one. So I show my face on this brand. This is my personal brand, and that has my face associated with it. But all of my other stores do not. So they have a concept, they are a niche, but they do not have a face. Do it. Start e-commerce. Honestly, in 2020, the whole market has completely shifted, guys. Everybody is comfortable with shopping online. And anybody who's skeptical in 2019 is no longer skeptical in 2020. So there is a humongous opportunity in e-commerce for everybody. Please, because it's oversaturated, yes, it is, but ultimately this is the future of marketing, and this is marketing and business, and this is year number one. So think about after a whole year of being on Instagram, people are like, oh, Instagram's oversaturated. But then, 10 years later, you would have wished that you started in year one. So it's the same thing. Just like when TikTok started to get really popular this year, I was like, oh my God, there's an opportunity to be in on the ground level. And now people would say, well, I can't have traction or success on TikTok because it's so oversaturated. But it's still the first year. So in 10 years or 5 years or 3 years, you're going to be kicking yourself in the pants because you didn't. I always outsource copy and product descriptions. So I'm a marketer, I'm not a writer. So, I come up with a concept and a general, like an emotion or a tone for the copy and the intention of the ad. And then I get someone who's actually good at writing to write it for me. It depends. You can negotiate with a lot of people. Rates vary. Rates vary on everything. Depends how much time they have to put in, but honestly, you can get product descriptions written for like dollars, not even dollars. Like you can get like 10 for like, I don't know, $5. I think TikTok is more valuable than what I was doing before. Like my TikTok channel here, no, but I think that ultimately the opportunity is bigger on TikTok. So all of my stores used to market exclusively on Instagram. I didn't even bother with Facebook. We did Instagram. And then this year now we've completely pivoted our efforts to be on TikTok and Instagram, but more so TikTok. And we're having way better results. No, that's fair. It's hard to spend money when you don't necessarily have it. But ultimately you do have to spend money in your business to make it. And if you think that product descriptions are going to be an income generating, if you think your product description is going to convert in a way that is meaningful, then maybe it might be worth it. You have to prioritize where you want to spend your money. And if not, there's definitely YouTube. I always keep saying go to YouTube, but yeah, there's definitely YouTube videos. But I guess what I would say is you're always trying to convey an emotion with people in your product descriptions. You're trying to solve a problem. So create a headache, create an emotion associated with that headache, and then solve their problem. TikTok doesn't pay me anything because I'm Canadian. I don't even get Creator Fund. Hi, I love Arizona. I was editing a video for my year on TikTok because I started TikTok in February last year. And I was actually in Arizona when I started my TikTok, and I was like, oh, I miss the sun and the cactuses and No, my clothing businesses also have TikTok accounts. You don't have to be the face of your brand. So you can get, so what I would do is I would send your product to content creators and ask them, can you do 5 videos wearing my outfit, you know, walking your dog or whatever, and then repost those to your own TikTok, like your brand's TikTok. Especially if you especially if you get like some influencers that have some traction in the niche that you're trying to work on, people will automatically recognize them and think that they're on their video and watch your content, which ultimately will push it to more people. So TikTok is, you don't have to be the face of it if you don't want to be. You just have to get a little more creative. Or models even, like you can hire like some models and go out and have a full film day, bring like 20 different outfits for them to wear, get them to do a bunch of different activities, you know, get them to do TikTok trends wearing your items or using your items, and then repost that for months and months and months on your TikTok for your business. I'm glad I helped. Ultimately, that's why I make content, is to help. My best-selling $35 to $40 product. So I work in the pet niche for one of my stores, and we sell like printed harnesses for dogs, and we sell them in like really goofy, like silly prints, and they sell like really, really well. That sells really good. I also have a store that's in the baby clothing niche, and we're selling a lot of like minimal like jumpers. It's winter now, so we're pivoting to like more winter styles. But yeah, ultimately when I made the video, I don't know if that's the one you're talking about, but ultimately when I made that video, like my products are average $35 to $40, and ultimately, you know, some people go into my store and they buy like 10 items, so their orders are like $500, but ultimately, most of the products are priced between $35 and $40. I don't price anything really outside of that because I find that will encourage people to go and shop around. You want to be priced in the impulse purchase category. So you want people to be on your site and say, wow, that's cute, and then buy it. You don't want people, because of the price point, to be like, oh, I wonder who else sells that, if I could get it for a better price, let's just go check out reviews, blah, 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 blah. You want to make it easy to check out, and you don't want them to think about it too much, because then you will get impulse purchases, and that's ultimately what you want as a retail merchant. No, I don't have a link for it. I can't let you copy my exact product. I'm really sorry. I partner up with manufacturers who make designs that I like. So for this pet harness, for instance, I partnered up with a manufacturer who's also Canadian, and they make all of the patterns for me, and I'm like, I like this one, let's put this one in my store. So I don't design anything, but I partner up with manufacturers who have creative designs. Yes. Thank you. Well, I hope my marketing gets to you guys then, because I don't share my specific products here just because of competition. Ultimately, my channel is drawing people who are interested in e-commerce, and I am trying to help people while also not having my businesses copied. And it is a fine line, and I understand that, but I have to protect the integrity of my stores as well, because they are my main source of income. How did I meet the manufacturer? So for this specific one, the dog harnesses, I had a partnership with a company called Drop Commerce, and they're basically just like a hub for multiple platforms and multiple manufacturers, sorry. And through working with Drop Commerce is how I met this manufacturer specifically. But I have multiple manufacturers. What do I sell? I sell mostly clothes, and I also sell stuff for pets. So clothes for pets, literally. I know that's ridiculous. No, Drop Commerce is going to basically, so Drop Commerce is, like I said, it's like a hub. So like you log into Drop Commerce and you type in like, I want soap, and they're going to show you a bunch of different manufacturers who make soap. AliExpress has some benefits. So you're going to be able to profit more off of AliExpress products in the short term. So the pricing is really good. But quality is always an issue. Shipping times are always an issue. And if you want your business to last for a long time, if you don't want angry customers, you are going to have to seek out manufacturers that make better quality items that are going to spend a little bit more to ship your items in a reasonable amount of time. So for the longevity of your business, yeah, I wouldn't probably go to AliExpress unless you do like so much due diligence on your manufacturer and you order a bunch of samples. But ultimately, I've had some, like when I first started, I was selling AliExpress products and it became a nightmare. I had to shut down my store. And then I reopened different stores, different niches, and I pivoted and I learned a lot of hard lessons from using AliExpress. As a beginner, you need proof of your marketing concept. So like, as a beginner, it's more important to test your marketing than it is to have a great product. I know that sounds like counterintuitive, but you have to be able to prove that you can sell anything. And if you are spending too much time sourcing a manufacturer and doing product testing and spending a bunch of money on samples, if you don't have a strong marketing strategy behind that, you are going to spend a lot of money on a piece of your business that doesn't really matter if you can't sell anything. So starting off with AliExpress products, yes, I would recommend that. Start off with a supplier like Spocket. I have them linked in my bio if you want to go check them out. They're a great place for a beginner to do proof of concept. So once you start selling a lot like products, you can start removing problem products or cheaper products from your store and start injecting products that are of higher quality. But like I said, if you don't have proof of concept that you can actually sell anything, don't waste a lot of time on trying to make a manufacturing partnership. You have to figure out marketing. When you are a dropshipper, you are a marketer. You're not a product designer, and if you can't market, you won't have any success. So don't waste your time on things that aren't relevant at first. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, if you want to start with a product from AliExpress and try to test your marketing on that, I would do that before you go in and you make expensive manufacturing partners, because ultimately if you want a higher quality product, it's going to cost you more money. Yeah. I'm not a product designer, but I have a good eye for products, I guess. Now I'm just procrastinating going shopping. Do you guys have another question for me? Before I go, I have to go pick up, so I need a Christmas present for my father, and I'm buying my son a cell phone. And yeah, got a couple things to do today. I'm not really looking forward to it though, because I live in the middle of nowhere. We got snow and I don't have winter tires. I only have all seasons. Oh, anyway. Hi from Vancouver Island. I'm in New Brunswick. Dove Smash. I'm actually not familiar with that. What is it? A recap. So basically I popped on live to tell you guys that I had a phone call with Good Morning America, and they are doing, basically they're doing an influencer series once a week or whatever, and they wanted to feature me. So I was saying, like, she talked to me and it was really interesting, and I just, like, I can't believe that they even considered me. And I don't know if they'll pick me, but it was just really amazing to get an email from someone who literally works at Good Morning America, and then I spoke on the phone literally with them. It was really exciting. So I hope they pick me, but if they don't, that's cool too. It's just a really great that like I can't believe I'm on the radar in that type of capacity, which is really interesting. I don't know, I'll have to look into it. Like, I don't love Reddit as a platform. I feel like they're mean on Reddit. Like, most people are mean on Reddit. So, and it's super clicky. And I never utilize Reddit in my business at all. But I'll have to look into it. I like your feedback so far, so I'm gonna have to look into that one. I hope you have a wonderful day too. Yeah, so Good Morning America. So you may or may not see me on American TV January 4th to the 11th, but if they choose me. And I think the series that I don't think, I know. The series, like the influencer they're featuring in the upcoming series is in the financial space. So when I was younger, before I started my business, I worked at a bank. So I kind of fit into that category, but I don't fit into that category perfectly. There's so many amazing creators. Like I can think of like 6 off the top of my head that would be a really great fit for this series. So if they pick me, they pick me. If they don't, that's okay. Also, another thing I thought was kind of funny is like Good Morning America is obviously an American audience, and I am a Canadian, and obviously the finance like advice or experience that I have would be relevant in Canada. I know our systems are very, 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 very similar, but ultimately, I don't know if I'm the exact right fit for the series, but I hope they pick me because like that type of exposure would be really awesome. Life changed for me in so many amazing capacities. First of all, I had freedom of time. So when I first started my stores, I was working like 16-hour days to get them off of the floor, and I did that for about 4 to 6 months. So at the beginning, I went through what I like to call the addiction stage of my business. So I was just absolutely obsessed. I didn't like sleep well, I didn't eat very much, and like I was just like super focused on my business. But after that, once I had my systems in place and I had help, so I started to acquire staff, I had freedom of time. So I paid for a whole trip for my mom and I to go to Italy and Greece. Like I know that like you hear people say stuff like that, like, oh, I took my mom to Italy or Greece, but like for me, that was a life changer for me because I had a baby when I was a teenager. Like I used to steal toilet paper from my job because like in between pays, like my paycheck would come in and I would spend it on bills and groceries, and then I would have no money for 2 weeks, literally. And I took a second job as a bartender to try and mitigate those 2 weeks with tips, which ultimately meant that I was spending unfathomable hours away from my child. And so having the freedom of time, being able to say, hey mom, thanks for all your help, let's go to friggin' Italy. I bought a car in cash, I bought our house, I traveled full time in an RV for all of 2019. I went to Asia, I traveled while I worked. Like I go to the grocery store and I don't look at prices anymore. Like it's immeasurable how my life has changed. Immeasurable. So yeah, it's changed a lot. Like today is the middle of a Monday morning and I'm sitting here just chatting with you guys, and I'm gonna go shopping, and I've already, like my e-commerce stores have already generated probably close to $1,500, and that's not my only source of income now. Like I have stocks that are performing in the background today, although it is sort of a red day, but like, you know, I have a diversified portfolio, so some of my stocks are green and some of them are red today, and like, you know, I'm sitting here and this is something that entertains me, and I find that it's nice to be able to help other people and answer questions, and I'm making money while doing this live. And that's also something that's really amazing about having an e-commerce business. My hair is itchy. The best monetary investment you've made into your business. Asking for help, so outsourcing. I'm not an expert in every aspect of my business, and having people around me that is incredibly helpful. And yes, it's like, for instance, here's a great example. So I spend money every single month on an accounting team, and my accounting team does all my bookkeeping. They maximize, they advise, and, they were able last year to basically work around using the system to literally save me about $40,000 in taxes that if I had been filing them, or someone who wasn't experienced in the e-commerce space with accounting, because my team is specific to e-commerce, if they didn't know all of the ins and outs of that, I would have had to pay in, or I would have accidentally paid in, or whatever, that $40,000. So like by outsourcing an expert in my business, that saved me $40,000 last year. Like outsourcing and asking for help and understanding your shortcomings as a business owner is something that is really important if you want to scale. It depends what you're trying to do. So if you want to have a one product store, I recommend one product. If you want to have a niche store or like a specific category store, I would say you need probably 25 products to flesh it out. Thanks. My favorite, I have so many books that I love, but The 4-Hour Workweek is pretty relevant to this discussion. So if you haven't read it by Tim Ferriss, you should. It's fair to worry. Like when I first started, I had $2,000 that I could put into my business, and before we were turning a profit, I had pretty much spent all of it. Okay, guys, I really actually have to go shopping. I don't want to, but I got to. So one last question, and then I'll go. So my funds didn't run out. We did start to turn a sale, but I would suggest, start selling some stuff you don't need. Start, hustling. I ordered how I funded my business when I first started. So at the beginning of, like before I ever started my business, I was trying to become like an Instagram influencer. And that's kind of where I learned like the ins and outs of the platform. And I had a little bit of success with that. So something that I did notice a lot was like something that's really simple to improve your presence online is proper lighting. So I actually had $2,000 that I wanted to spend on my business, but I knew I had to make that money go further. So I ordered ring lights from AliExpress, and I spent like $800 on a bunch of ring lights, and then I marked them up and I sold them on Facebook Marketplace, like locally. And the money that I made from those, I re-injected into my business. So you have to get really creative. Like if I had to sell our couch, like I was so dedicated at that point, like if I had to sell our couch to buy something off AliExpress that I would eventually flip to re-inject into my business, which was the ultimate goal, like I would have done that. I was dead set on the fact that I was going to make it work, and I was going to do anything that I had to become successful. All right, guys, I'm going to go. This has been fun. Bye.